Have you ever been, mid-jam, maybe humming a new riff or just trying to flesh out a song idea and wished you could just instantly lay down a rhythm, maybe a harmony or a bass line right there on the spot? Or perhaps you've seen a street musician creating this like full band sound all by themselves and wondered, how are they doing that? That fundamental desire, right? To
Yeah.
build sound layers on the fly, to capture those spontaneous musical ideas without a big fuss. That's kind of the creative spark we're diving into today. Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're unpacking a piece of gear that has, well, it's earned a legendary status by doing one thing exceptionally well: looping. We are talking about the Boss RC1 Loop Station. Our mission today is to explore how this device, which is really renowned for its simplicity, can actually be an incredibly powerful tool. We'll look into the strategic thinking behind why it was introduced, figure out who it's truly designed for, and understand what makes it such a beloved starting point in the world of loop pedals. We've pulled together a stack of sources, comprehensive beginner guides, expert comparisons, to sort of distill the most important insights for you.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here, I think, is how Boss made this very deliberate choice. They stripped back features, but not to limit things. It was actually to unlock creativity. They created something profoundly intuitive. It makes advanced musical concepts like multi-tracking accessible to basically everyone. It's really a powerful testament to the idea that sometimes, less isn't just more. It's almost a revolutionary design philosophy.
Okay, so let's delve into that, the genesis of the RC1. Because Boss wasn't exactly new to looping when this pedal arrived in, 2014?
No, not at all.
Models like the RC2, the RC3, even the more complex RC30 were already out there, well established. So why? Why bring out another looper, one that kind of looked like it offered fewer features? What was the strategy there?
Well, putting it in context, the RC1 was a very, very intentional move by Boss. They wanted to deliver looping in its, let's say, purest, most unadorned form, right? Those previous models, while really powerful, they'd introduced multiple presets, rhythm guides, deeper menu diving. The RC1, though, was explicitly designed as their first truly entry-level looper. Fast-tracked for people who just wanted immediate, fun, hassle-free looping. It was really about cutting through the complexity that had, started to build up in other pedals, addressing a clear need in the market for a device where you could just plug in, stomp on it, and play.
Right.
No steep learning curve, just immediate musical engagement.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Stripping away everything but the absolute essentials to get right to the creative bit.
Yeah.
But how does it actually pull off that hassle-free experience? Our sources keep mentioning its ultra-friendly design. What are the specific, tangible things that make it so approachable? For someone picking it up for the first time, or maybe even a pro who just wants zero fuss.
Well, the immediate standout, and the sources really back this up, is its minimalist interface. I mean, really minimal. You've got only a single foot switch and just one knob labeled level, and that only controls the volume of your recorded loop. That's it.
Just volume.
Just volume. This isn't just simple. It's a profound design choice. It minimizes what they call cognitive load. You're not scrolling through menus. You're not trying to remember complex button combinations. It's all right there, totally straightforward. It lets your brain focus entirely on the music, not the tech.
Okay, one button, one knob. A question pops up immediately. How do you know what it's doing? How do you track if you're recording or overdubbing or just playing back? That seems like it could get confusing fast.
And this is where Boss really nailed it, I think, with a brilliant piece of visual engineering. It's a 24-segment circular LED indicator. Picture a ring of lights right around that single knob. This visual cue gives you immediate, really intuitive feedback. It clearly shows you, just at a glance, okay, now I'm recording the light sweep one way, now I'm overdubbing, adding layers, or now it's just playing back the loop.
Right.
It makes the whole process incredibly transparent and easy to follow, even if you've never touched a looper before. It's like this silent conversation going on between the pedal and you.
That visual language, that makes a huge difference. Okay, so could you walk us through actually making a loop with just that one foot switch? How does that simple design translate into the real world interaction?
Absolutely. Yeah. The single foot switch is, it's a masterclass in streamlined interaction, really. So a quick press, just tap the foot switch and it starts recording your phrase, say a guitar riff or some chords.
Right.
The very next press, another quick tack seamlessly triggers playback of what you just recorded. It just loops endlessly.
Right.
Want to add something on top, like a harmony. Another quick press initiates overdubbing. Now you can layer more sounds, maybe a bass line, a melody, even just rhythmic clicks.
Okay, simple enough.
And crucially, if you mess up or decide you don't like that last layer, just press and hold the switch for a couple of seconds. That gives you immediate undo or redo. You can instantly wipe that last overdub while it's still looping, or if you change your mind, hold it again during playback to bring it back. It's very fluid, very responsive, designed to keep you right in that creative flow.
It's actually kind of amazing how much they packed into such a simple control scheme. And despite that commitment to stripping things back, it still has some pretty solid capabilities under the hood, right? It's not just like 5 seconds of basic looping.
No, definitely not. It offers up to 12 minutes of stereo looping time.
12 minutes. Wow.
Which, for context, is actually quite generous. Allows for surprisingly long phrases, especially for a pedal aimed at simplicity. And impressively, that loop memory is non-volatile, meaning it's preserved even after you power down. So you don't lose your last great idea when you unplug it or the battery dies.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah. It also supports both mono and stereo setups. So it's versatile guitar, keyboard, mic, other effects. It can handle it. Plus, and this is a smart touch, it's compatible with optional external foot switches, like the Boss FS series, which lets you expand control, maybe have a dedicated stop or clear function without cluttering the pedal itself. Keeps the main unit simple.
Okay, this brings us to something really key that comes up in our sources.
Yeah.
Defining who this pedal is truly for. Who is the Boss RC1 actually ideal for? What are its main strengths that make it so popular with, well, those specific users?
Well, sources like Guitar World, for example, they hail it as an easy-to-use looper with superb build quality, which makes it perfect for both live gigs and just songwriting at home. It's compact size plus Boss's legendary rugged construction. I mean, these things are built like tanks.
Yeah, they really are.
It's totally gig-friendly, ready to be stomped on, thrown in a bag. That durability and ease of use are massive selling points for any musician, really.
And there's a very specific group, isn't there, that it seems almost perfectly designed for, beyond just general beginners.
That's right. Beyond just beginners, it's exceptionally well-suited for buskers, for street performers.
The battery power.
Exactly. This is largely down to its battery-powered option. It gives you about 4.5 hours of continuous use. So imagine, a performer out on the street, maybe limited access to power outlets, needing to instantly create a full sound. The RC1 feels almost tailor-made for that. Its simplicity plus that self-powered portability. That's a huge win for musicians on the move. It offers creative freedom without being tethered.
Okay, so given this absolute focus on simplicity, you have to assume there are things it doesn't do. Deliberate omissions. For musicians maybe coming from, say, a complex DIW setup or a big multi-effects unit, wouldn't this stripped-back approach feel, limiting, maybe even frustrating? What are the sort of things to consider for someone looking at the RC1?
That's a really valid point and an important one. The RC1, yes, it stores only one phrase at a time, unlike, say, the RC3 or the newer RC5, which offer multiple loop slots or presets you can save and recall.
Right.
It also doesn't have any built-in drum beats, no time stretching, none of the more advanced recording features you find elsewhere. But, and this is the absolute key, these aren't flaws. They are very, very deliberate design choices. For certain workflows, yeah, it would definitely be too simple. But for its target user, someone focused on immediate foundational looping, these so-called limitations actually become its greatest strength. It prevents feature bloat, keeps you focused entirely on the core act of just creating and layering sound right now. It's about empowering a specific kind of focused creativity, not overwhelming you with options.
So let's put this into the broader picture then. How does the RC1 fit into the whole Boss Looper family? How does it stack up against its predecessors, like the RC2 and RC3, or maybe its more advanced sibling, the RC5, helps to see the whole strategy?
Absolutely. Yeah, if you look at the Boss Looper ecosystem, the RC1 from 2014 holds a very distinct place, especially when you compare it to the earlier RC2 from 2006, the RC3 from 2011, and the much newer, much more feature-packed RC5 from 2020. We can kind of break down the key differences, and it highlights Boss's tiered approach. So let's start with controls. The RC1 is defined by that iconic single button and single level knob. That's its identity.
Right, minimalist.
Totally. The RC2 and RC3 were a step up. They had multiple buttons. They allowed you to manage different loop slots directly on the pedal, more immediate control over different stored ideas.
Okay.
Then the RC5. That takes it much further. Multifunctionality, a visual display, even MIDI connectivity.
MIDI, wow.
Yeah, which allows for precise syncing with other gear. advanced external control, really complex setups become possible.
And loop storage must follow that trend too,
Yeah.
right? That's a huge factor for many players.
Oh, absolutely. Loop storage is a major differentiator. The RC1, like we said, is built around that single active phrase concept. Even though it's a generous 12 minutes of stereo recording time, it encourages that improvisational, in-the-moment style.
Yeah.
The RC2 and RC3 step that up with multiple onboard memory slots. You could store different loops, maybe verse chorus ideas, and switch between them. More flexibility.
Gotcha.
The RC5 just goes all out. 99 phrase memories, massive recording time. You can build complex song structures, keep a huge library of ideas right in the pedal.
And the way they talk back to you, the visual feedback must evolve alongside that complexity too.
Precisely. Our familiar LED ring on the RC1, brilliant for its simplicity, its directness, pure function.
Yeah.
The RC2 and RC3 moved to basic LCD displays. They could show more info, like which loop number was active, maybe a basic tempo for the rhythm guide.
Okay, bit more info.
A bit more. The RC5, being the newest and most advanced, has a full-color LCD display. Much richer visual feedback makes navigating all those extra features way more intuitive, much more user-friendly.
And finally, those core advanced features themselves, or maybe the intentional lack of them. That really defines each pedal's niche, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's the crux of it. The RC1's whole purpose is just basic recording and overdubbing. That's its job, and it does it perfectly.
Does one thing well.
Exactly. The RC2 and RC3, while still pretty compact, they introduced more advanced looping stuff, built-in rhythm patterns, maybe auto-quantized to help timing. A clear step up for intermediate users wanting more structure. The RC5, though, that brings in the really sophisticated options.
Yeah.
Harmonic shifts, reverse playback, much more complex rhythm patterns, USB for importing, exporting loops, and that MIDI control we mentioned. It's clearly targeting the pro looping market, people who need maximum flexibility. So essentially, each model fits a different user profile perfectly. RC1, beginners, simple, immediate use. RC2, RC3, intermediate needs, more structure. RC5, full feature pro looping. The RC1's strength really is its laser focus, its clear, dedicated purpose. It stands out by doing less, but doing it better for a very specific and probably very grateful audience.
You know, reflecting on this, the Boss RC1 Loop Station really does embody that powerful idea of focused design. Came out in 2014, delivers this beautifully stripped down, rugged, and just profoundly intuitive experience. That single foot switch, the brilliant LED ring, 12 minutes of non-volatile stereo looping, and that essential battery power option. It really makes it a powerhouse for beginners, for buskers, for anyone who just wants creative looping without the mental load. It's not about having all the features, is it? It's about having exactly the right features executed perfectly for a very specific, inspiring goal. It's really a masterclass in how deliberate simplicity can actually boost creativity.
Yeah, and that kind of raises an interesting question for you listening right now. In a world where new tech often seems to mean just adding more and more features, leading to complexity, maybe decision fatigue, what other areas in your own life, maybe your work, maybe your hobbies, could benefit from a similar stripped-down approach? What might you actually gain by choosing simplicity, by focusing purely on the core function to unlock your own efficiency or maybe your own creativity? Something to think about.